Hi everyone and welcome to the Wizard Engineer. In today's video, we're going to continue where we left up in previous video when we talked about Composition API. We're going to refactor our app that we built in video 15 when we did our second exercise. It was built in Vue Option API. Now, the goal of this video is to refactor our app that we built to Composition API so that you're going to finish this video and you got your hands-on experience with Vue Composition API. And then in the next video, we're going to get started with TypeScript because for upcoming video, I'm going to consent only Vue plus TypeScript and as well as our final projects. Alright guys, now let's get started refactoring our app to Composition API that we built in a video 15. Now guys, you can see within my project folder, it is as in previous video when we talked about Vue Composition API, and you can notice within the views folder, I have created another folder in previous video, Composition API, and then within the Composition API, we can see stuff that we learned in previous video. You can see we have this stuff. Now guys, what we're gonna do in this video, we are going to refactor the single post page, the post page. You can see within the post page, we have a Vue Option API style. We are going to refactor it to Composition API as well as the PostTable and PostForm components, which are in the components folder. We're going to refactor this component to Composition API. Now guys, what we're gonna do, we are going to get into the PostForm. We are going to create another page. We are going to say, suppose we need to refactor the post page, we are going to say refactor post page. That's what we're gonna do. And before I get started, right now I'm gonna switch the branch because I'm gonna put this branch. I'm gonna create another branch. I'm gonna call it refactor our app. And then you can see right here, I'm in a second exercise branch. And then here, I need to switch to another branch. I'm going to do git checkout refactor app. And then we have another branch, git branch. You can see git checkout -b refactor app. And then we just switch to another branch. Guys, you can see if I type git branch, we just have another branch, refactor app. And we are going to work within this branch, and I'm going to put a code on GitHub. You're going to clone this branch. And then guys, I'm gonna start our Node.js server. Let me start our Node.js server because we are going to interact with this server node. Here I'm gonna get into node exercise, and then I'm gonna type npm run start. Let me do this npm run start, and then here I need to start also our Vue server npm run dev, and we're ready to go. Guys, now here within the post page, I need to create a file. I'm gonna say right here refactor post page. This is the name, and then we're gonna get in and create a template. I'm gonna pass here an h1. Let me pass here an h1 refactor post page, and then we're gonna get into the router and import this page, refactor post page. I do this because I need to show you the difference between Composition API and Vue Option API. Now I'm gonna get into the router and import this page. And right here, you're going to notice I have added a comment, refactored page to Composition API. And then I need to copy this. I'm gonna copy this path right here. And then I'm gonna paste it under this comment. And then right here, I'm gonna say right here, the name of this path, it is going to be refactor home. And then I'm gonna comment this, I'm gonna copy this path. And then right here, I need to pass right here before the post page, I need to pass refactor post page. And then if we get into the browser, let us get into the browser, you're going to see, let me run my server, npm run dev. Okay, now we are getting the URL. if we get into the browser and then we tap /refactor homepage, and then you're going to see we got a title Refactor PostPage. And then guys, what we need to do is to get into the Refactor page, and within the post page, you're going to see we have a Vue Option API style. And then we need to translate it to Vue Composition API. I'm going to copy all this stuff and then get into the Refactor page. And then the Refactor page is, I said in previous video, in Vue Composition API, we doesn't pull the script tag under the template tag, but instead we put it above the template tag. That's what we're gonna do here. I'm gonna pass it right here, and here I need to pass two attributes to the script tag. I need to pass it the length. It is JS, the length that we are working with, because we need to specify the language. When we are going to start working with TypeScript, we are going to pass their TS. And then we need to pass it another attribute to specify that we are working with Vue Composition API. I'm going to pass here setup. And then right here, guys, you can see we have import, PostTable, PostForm. And here we got the map state. We are not going to use these helpers anymore. And then we need to import our use PostStore. We are going to call our PostStore to refactor like this, Refactor PostStore. That's what we are going to call it. And then right here, guys, I'm not getting to first the Refactor PostStore within the stores folder and create this store. Guys, follow, you're going to clone the repository. And then right here, I'm gonna paste the name of this file. And then right here, I'm gonna get into the Refactor page. And right here, I need to remove the export defaults. And then we don't need all of this stuff. We are going to remove this. And also, we are going to remove mounted. Let me comment this. Let me comment this or this stuff, because we need to get access to this element within the Refactor PostStore. I'm gonna pass here use Refactor PostStore. This is going to be the name. And then I need to get into the stores folder. And within the stores folder, I'm gonna copy the stuff that we get in the PostStore. I'm gonna copy this stuff and then paste it to the Refactor PostStore. And then here, I need to change the name. Here, I'm gonna pass use Refactor PostStore, and right here, I'm gonna pass here Refactor Post, like this. And then right here, guys, we are not going to use the state function. It allows to define reactive property. You can see right here, we got a data function, getters play a role of a computer property, and actions as methods. And then if we get into the counter.js, it is a Pinia store that came by default when we install Pinia. You can see right here, this is the structure of a composition API of a Pinia store. You can see right here we got a count property. We use the ref function in order to define a reactive property. And then we got our function right here. Our function, we got a variable double count. It is a computer property. We got a function increment. It allows to increment the count, and then it returns the count variable, double count, reactive property, and increment function. And this is a composable, and we talked about composable in previous video. This is how we are going to structure our Pinia store, our Refactor PostStore. And then I'm not getting to the Refactor PostStore. We need to refactor it like this. All this stuff right here, guys, the post array, count post object, we are going to pass here post equal ref, and then within the ref we need to pass in an array. We are going to do the same thing for the count post. We're going to pass here. Let me pass here the constant, and then right here we assign it the ref function. Pass here 0. I'm going to do that for this one too. Const and here we assign it ref. Yeah, it is an object. We are not going to use computed. We are going to remove getters. And then right here, we need to import the ref function from Vue. Import ref from Vue. And then right here, we need to get rid of the actions. And then right here, we need to pass here function before a sync keyword function. And right here, function and function right here. And then we are going to remove these curly braces. And then right here, let me see where we are getting this color. And then right here, we just created a store. And then guys, you can see right now we are creating a composable. You can see this is a composable. If I get into the Canada.js file, you're going to see it returns a function. Let me copy this stuff. Let me copy this. Let me get into my composable and see if we, right here, we shouldn't pass here an object. We are going to pass here a function. You can see right here within the Canada.js, they're passing right here a function which returns an object. And then we are going to copy this. And then we're going to paste it before our refactor post. And then guys, we need to get rid of all of these keywords within our store. Right here, you can see we have these keywords. We use it in Option API style, but in Composition API, we are not going to use it. And then guys, we need to pass here, we need to remove it. And then we are going to use that value to pass data to our variable right here. But also, we are going to remove it to the count post and use that value. We already talked in previous video that when we need to get access to a reactive property that has been created using the ref function, we use the data value to pass data and to get access to its data. And within the cpost function, we need to change as well. And then guys, we just finished. We need to return these variables within a return statement as well as our function. And right here, we are going to use return. We are going to return our variables post, and then count post, fetch, create fetch post. We need to return fetch post, create post, and delete post, so that we are going to get access to this data, to this object, when we are going to use our refactor post store within our refactor post page. And then right here, guys, you can notice that right here we have used map states helper function in order to get access to the post array and the count post variable. And then if we go to the Pinia documentation, you're going to notice right here, guys, in order to get access to properties and function within a Pinia store, and if we are using script setup, we need to define a variables. You can see right here. And then through this variable, we are going to get access to functions and variables within it. That's what we're going to do right now. And then, guys, we are going to do this const post, and then we're going to assign it use refactor post. And then we are going to use this variable in order to get access to this object that we just returned right here. And then if we get into the post page, we are going to copy this component. We are going to copy this data right here, the div, and then we are going to use it within our refactor post page. And then we are going to keep our title. We are going to pass it within the container, and then we are going to refactor. And right here, you can see that, guys, we need to pass to our component data and function. And in order to get access to this data right here, we are going to use the post variable. In order to get access to the count variable, we are going to do that count post. Yeah, you can see right here when we do that we are getting an autocomplete, and you can see we get access to our function, to all of our functions and variables we have within the refactor post. So you can see we got count post, create post function, delete post, etc. And then right here, I'm gonna pass here count post, and then we need to get access to the post array. But also you can see right here, we have a function delete article that we created in Vue Option API. Right here, we have a function delete article. We are going to use it again, and I'm gonna remove this, and I'm gonna copy this function, and here I'm gonna pass the function keyword before the async keyword. And then right here, guys, we need to get rid of the this keyword. We are going to use here post variable in order to get access to the delete post. And also you can see we have the C article function. Yeah, we need to copy it. And then we need to pass the function keyword and uncomment this line and remove the this keyword again to get access to the C post detail. And within the C article detail, you're going to notice we have the this keyword, that's $. In order to move to another page, use the push function that has been provided by the router instance. Now in Vue Composition API, we doesn't use this style. We use a composable that is being provided by Vue router package. We are going to do this router, and then we are going to do use router. You can see right here we use the router composable. It is provided by the router Vue package. You can see right here we need to import it. We're going to do import use router from Vue router. It is there, and then right here we are going to pass here. We're going to remove the this keywords, and pass only the router variable that push. Because when we click on the backend, see post detail, we need to move to the single post page. And right here, you can see we have an async mounted. This is a function we use in Vue Option API in order to invoke a given function when we mount our component to the DOM. We use the mount. But in Vue Composition API, we use unmounted function. That's what we said in previous video. It returns a function, and then we are going to make this function an async one. We can pass it a function like this. We can pass it another function or a traditional function that we use in ES5. It is the same, but I prefer out of function. And then we are going to get access to the fetch post. We use the fetch variable and then fetch post, and then we need to pass it a wait, and we just finish everything. I think it is going to work. And right now you can see that within the template tag, we doesn't register our component. We just need to import our component, PostTable and PostForm, and then we can use it directly within our template tag. And right here, you can see we have our PostTable and as well as our PostForm. We have them within our Refactor post page. We doesn't need to register these components as we did in Vue Option API. You can see right here, when we need to use a component, we need to pass it to the component object so that it can be used within our template tag. But in Vue Composition API, we doesn't do this. And then if we get into the browser and try to refresh, yeah, you can see that everything it is working. We are getting a list of posts. We just populated our table. Now let's work on the single post page. We are going to refactor this page, single post page. We need to, when we click on this button right here, see post, we need to see the value of a single post, the data of a single post. And then right here, you can notice we are getting an error. See post detail is not a function. We have an error when we click on this function, see post see article detail. And you can see post details is not a function. That's what it said within the console. See post detail is not a function. And we are going to get into the refactor PostStore. It seems that we didn't return it. It doesn't pass it to function, and then we are going to add it. You can see right here it doesn't have this function. We are going to add C post detail to this return statement so that we are going to get access to this function. And if we refresh, and then we click on a single article, it is going to work. You can see that we just moved to a single post page. And then right here, guys, you can see within our single post page, we have a Vue Option API, but it works. Now we need to create another page, Refactor single post page. We need to translate this Vue Option API to Composition API. And then within our post folder, we are going to create another file, Refactor PostPage. Refactor, we need to call it Refactor single post page, and then that view, and then we are going to copy everything we have within the single post page within the Refactor single post page. Guys, you can just follow. I'm gonna put the code on GitHub. You need to follow, and then we're gonna need to get into the router folder and import this page. We are going to call this page, we need to register it under this comment, Refactor pages to Composition API, and then we need to pass it and try to change the path. Right here, I'm gonna say refactor underscore post, and then we need to /id because we need to pass it an ID, and then we need to change it to the name of the roots. And also we are going to pass here refactor underscore post, but also before the single post page we need to pass in refactor. And then if we get into the refactor post page, we need to pass it to this name, this path of the roots. And then we get into the refactor post page, and then right here within the C article detail function, we need to change the post to refactor post, so that when we are going to click on this page, we are going to move to the refactor single post page. And you can see within this page, within this refactor single post page, we have a Vue Option API, but we need to translate it to Composition API. We are going to copy the script tag and paste it above the template tag, or we can copy even the template tag and paste it under the script tag. That is the conversion. When we are working with Vue Composition API, we need to pass it the length attribute as well as the setup attribute to the script tag. And then right here, we need to remove this style. We need to comment this and import our store. We are going to do this. We're going to pass here refactor PostStore right here, PostStore, and we are going to pass here use refactor PostStore, and then we need to use it. We are going to store it within a single variable. We're going to do const post, and then we are going to assign it to refactor PostStore, and so that we are going to get access to properties. And then right here you can see we have within the refactor single post, within the template tag, we need to pass in the post title and the post content. And what we need to do is to get access to this function, to this variable right here, post. It gets data of a single post. We need to get access to it, and then we are going to use the post variable. We are going to pass it before right here, but I'm gonna call it PostStore like this, so that it is going to be different from the post, because we need the post, it is a variable, and then we are going to do post that title, yeah, like this, yeah, PostStore that content. And then here you can see we have map states and map actions. We need to remove them, and as well as the PostTable component, we don't need it within our refactor single post page. And also we need to we have here computed. We already get access to the post variable. We need to remove it. but also you can see we need to get access to the see post detail function, and here we are going to do this. You can see we have a mounted life cycle hook that we use in Vue Option API in order to load data when we mount a component to the DOM. We are going to use here unmounted. We're going to use unmounted, and then it returns a function. We're going to pass it see post detail. Need to comment this and pass it to it. And then right here, guys, you're going to see that we use again the root. The root here, we are going to use a composable, use root composable that is provided by Vue Router. We are going to pass here, create a variable, const roots, and then we are going to assign it use roots. Use root function. You can see we just import it from the Vue Router. And then we are going to pass here we need to remove this keyword and the dollar root.params.id, and then right here we need to pass here PostStore see post details, and then that's it, guys. If we get into the browser and let's try to add a title right here, I'm gonna pass here title. I'm gonna say single post page. I'm gonna pass here refactor like this, and then we are going to try to get on the Refactor homepage. And if we click on the See Post button, we are going to land on this page, single post page Refactor. You can see we just pass its data. And that's how we can use Vue Composition API to refactor a page. Now, guys, it's up to you. You can choose to use whether Vue Option API or Vue Composition API. You can see. If we get into the Refactor post page, this is the Vue Composition API style. And if we get into the post page, you can see this is the Vue Option API style. It's up to you, guys. Now you need to choose which one you need to go with. Yeah, you need to choose. If you think, oh, you like the Vue Option API than Vue Composition API, you can go with. But try to choose, guys. And if I get into the Refactor single post page, you can see this is the style. And if I get into the single post page, you can see the Vue Option API style. You need to choose, guys. Now, let's refactor the PostTable and the PostForm components. And guys, if we get into the PostTable component, you're going to notice within the script tag, we still have Vue Option API style, but we have imported within the Refactor post page where we have Vue Composition API. I'd like to tell you that if you have a component that has been written within the Vue Option API and you import it within a page that is a Vue Composition API style, it works. You can see within the post table, we have defined props using Vue Option API, but in the Refactor post page, we use Vue Composition API. It works. I'd like to tell you that Vue Composition API supports Vue Option API. It works, guys. But you can't merge Vue Option API and Vue Composition API within a single script. It is not going to work. But if you use Vue Option API within a component and you just import this component within a file where we use Vue Composition API, it works, guys. And before I continue, guys, I'd like to tell you that if you got a question, let me know in the comment section. And then, guys, we need to get into the post table and refactor the script right here, the script tag to Vue Composition API. If you remember, when we talked about Vue Composition API, you're going to get into if you get into the Composition API folder, you can see we have a component, user table. And we use define props macro in order to define prop to a component. We just pass it an array. And we use define emit macro in order to define an event that is going to be emitted from this component. You can see. Now we are going to refactor the post table and then import it within the refactor post page. Right here, we are going to do this. We are going to create another component. Refactor post table, dot view, and then we are going to copy the content within the post table, and then we are going to paste it within the refactor post table component, and we need to move the script tag above the template tag, and then we are going to pass it the length, it is JS and setup. But also we need to remove the export default, and we need to pass here a constant, and then we need to assign it a macro define prop. We doesn't need to import it, and then it is a function. We are going to pass it an array of props that are functions that our component needs. And then if we get into the composition API folder and within the user table, you're going to see we use define emit in order to define emit from a component. I'm gonna copy this and paste it within our refactor post table component and pass it this array. This is how we define prop and event from a component using Vue Composition API. We use the define prop and define emit macros for that. You can see this is the style. And if we get into, and you can see here, we have a button, delete post, but also we got another button, see post detail. We are going to remove the dollar. We use the dollar within the Vue Option API. We need to remove it. We are going to pass it directly this variable right here, emit, and then we just pass it the name of the event that we need to be emitted, but also the parameter. And then we are going to get into the refactor post page. We are going to use right here refactor. We need to add refactor PostForm. For the form we are going to pass here, but for the table, refactor PostTable and refactor PostTable.view, and then we need to change to within the template tag refactor PostTable. And if we get into the browser and try to refresh, you're going to see it works. Yeah, it works, guys. You can see it works pretty well. You can see we just within the refactor post table we pass in a Vue Composition API style. You can see we just use macros, it works. And if we use Vue Option API style, it is going to work too. Now we need to refactor also the post form. We are going to copy the content we have within the post form. We are going to copy it and create another component. We are going to say refactor post form the view, and then we are going to paste it within it, and then we need to move the script tag above the template tag, and also we need to get access. We need to import also our store refactor PostStore. We're going to pass here refactor PostStore, and then right here we're going to say use refactor PostStore. And then we need to pass also within the script tag the length attribute as well as the setup. And also we need to remove the map state and map actions from Pinion. Also, we are going to create a constant post where we are going to assign it the use refactor PostStore so that we can get access to function then and properties within the refactor PostStore. And right here, I'm gonna comment first the export defaults. And then you can see within the data function that we use in Vue Option API to create a reactive property, we have within it a post object. And then we are going to create a reactive property. We are going to do this post. Yeah, we need to pass here PostStore. And then right here, we are going to pass here the post. And then we are going to use the ref in order to create a reactive property. I'm going to comment this. I'm going to pass it the title and the content. And then we need to import the ref from Vue. Import ref from Vue. And then we just created a reactive property. We call it post. Reactive property, we use the ref function. And then we need to create also function. We need to create another function right here. You can see we have created create article. We are going to pass it right here and use the function keyword before the async keyword, and then we are going to do this. We are going to remove the this keywords because we use the this keyword in Vue Option API, but we are going to use the PostStore. We're going to change it to the this, and then right here, we're not going to use the this on init input function. We just have it, and then here, guys, we need to pass function before the init input, and then right here we are going to remove the this keywords, and we are going to use post that value that title. You can see post right here. It is a reactive property created with ref post that value that title and post that value that content. Yeah, that's it, guys. And you can see we just refactor our post form. And then, guys, we need to call another function. You can see right here, guys. You can see right here we have a function create article. It is here, and then we need to do what? We need to, yeah, you can see that's it. We just finished. Now we need to test this component if it is working pretty well. Now we need to import it within the Refactor post page, within this page right here, Refactor post page, and then we need to import it. Right before the post form, we are going to pass Refactor post form, and here Refactor post form, and then we need to pass it to the template tag. Yeah, right here, and then let's try to see if it is going to work. I'm gonna get into the browser and refresh again, and then we are going to create a post. I'm gonna pass here the title, what is Docker, and then the content. I'm gonna pass here and then press on the create post, and you can see we just created a post, but within our table doesn't get the value. Let me see if we have any issue. Let me refresh again. Yeah, you can see right here. Let me delete first this post, and then I'm gonna pass here the title, what is Docker, and then Docker and then I'm gonna click on create post, and you can see we got a message post created, but we got a line right here, line 5, it is empty. It seems that we have an issue within our components, because I'm gonna try to inspect and see which kind of data we are sending to our server. What is Docker? Pass the title again, and I pass content like this, and see if you are sending data to the server. And if I inspect again into the payload, you can see within the payload tag, the payload tab, it doesn't send any data. It is an empty object. We are sending an empty object to the server. You can see right here, it is empty. And we are going to get into our refactor post form and fix an issue. You can see right here, we just pass here, create post. We just pass a variable, PostStore.post. We should pass here post. This is a reactive property that we have right here, guys. Post that value. We need to get access to the value of this reactive property by using the that value, and then we are going to try to refresh again and try to see if we are going to create a post. I'm gonna pass here what is Docker. Let me remove this blank row, remove this, and get into again the refactor post page, and try to add right here some break tag like this, and then I'm gonna paste it right here so that we are going to have a better view. Yeah, like this. Now let's try it again. Yeah, okay, let me increase the width, and then let's try to create a post. I'm gonna say what is Docker, and then I'm pass the content, and then I'm click on the create post button, and you're going to see we have another post. What is Docker and content? I'm going to create another post. What is TS? TS is and then I'm going to click again on create post. It works. Yeah, we got a post with ID 6. What is TS? And that's pretty much it, guys, for this video. We just refactor our app that it was built in Vue Option API to Vue Composition API. And guys, if you got a question, let me know in comment section. And in the next video, we're gonna start learning TypeScript. And thanks for watching, and I see you there.